Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me on this live stream. Excuse the lighting because of the windows behind me. I'm a little kind of, darkened out. And also excuse the home office. I'm actually in my bedroom because I'm here staying. My brother and his wife are staying with me, and they're working in different parts of the house. But I figured, why not have a live stream? Hang out with you guys a little bit, talk some watches, hang out. Not like we have much better to do. Uh, yes, UHA Sweat Manager. I am a silhouette. Unfortunately, big windows behind me, sunlight. I have nothing lighting me from the front. I apologize for that. Wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing the Gerard Perregaux Laureato Evo 3. Loving this bad boy. Rotating watches a few times a day. Just trying to keep busy. Wow, we already have 115, 116 people watching. Hi to everybody. Frank Handy, Smoke Eater, David Williams. Thanks so much. I appreciate the email a few days ago as well, by the way. Zenon Bezlich from Detroit. Thanks so much. Kevin V, Tariq Chaudhry. Wow, so many guys, hanging out today. But yeah, I figured we'd talk watches, nothing in particular, just kind of hang out and answer some of your questions. I will say on the Rolex front, I did notice yesterday I saw a brand new stickered Batman on Jubilee sell for about $12,000. That's $1,500 to almost $2,000 down from its original price. So yeah, we are seeing a little bit of a market correction, even though honestly, coronavirus or not, I think it was time for that. I'm kind of happy to see prices going down, but for all you guys trying to sell a watch right now, I don't recommend it. For all you buyers, I think it might be a good time to buy. I'm no doctor or virologist, but the numbers in Europe seem to be getting a little bit better. The stock market is picking up here in the US, at least for the past few days. So I'm being very hopeful and saying I really, really hope this doesn't last for much longer, but I don't know how much prices are going to keep dropping. So I do think it is a good moment to buy for you guys. Kevin V says Pepsi's under 15K now. Yep, Kevin, you can get it quite a bit under 15K. The Aquanaut also took a little bit of a tumble. I see them. I think by the end of this, I think they'll be in the high 20s, which is a little bit of a difference. David Williams says, "What is my personal general opinion of stainless versus titanium?" Well, David, personally, I prefer stainless generally. A very personal opinion. I think stainless looks better once it has a few scratches. I think titanium is harder to polish up. I think it looks worse when it does get damaged. I think it is a little easier to scratch up as well. I also don't love the super duper light watches, even though I just picked up my 4max, but that isn't titanium, that's carbon fiber. So the lightness is kind of cool. Titanium is a fantastic material. It certainly is higher end than stainless. But if I at least tell you my honest opinion, and from my perspective, what I've owned in my collection, I'm much more of a stainless steel guy. Let's see, what other questions do we have here? GMT Master, some way to go before us retail purchasers get worried about Batgirl tanking fast. GMT Master, it's not going to tank below retail. Rolex is Rolex. Even in a shitty economy, there are people that are going to be buyers. I think it might hit retail, but tanking well below retail, I don't think you have much to worry about. Jason Tangelo from Jakarta, good to see you guys too. What's everybody wearing today? Wristwatch check. Let me put in the comments, wristwatch check, what you guys are wearing. As I said, I'm rocking the GP Laureato Evo 3 today. Kind of curious what everybody is rocking. Let's wait for those wristwatch checks to come in. Sin656 from Yassine. Kevin V with the Tudor Black Bay GMT. Sin104 White, great watch. Edward JRG, Seiko SKX, also fantastic. Grand Seiko Snowflake, Anadachos 41 from Zenon. Wow, we got lots of cool watches. Reverso, Samir with the Reverso. I love it. Oh man, Jubilee Pepsi, Bulova Accutron, Longines Hydro Conquest, Vintage Bon Mercier Compressor. Wow, that's a weird one. Kind of cool. Apollo 11 Speedmaster. Man, there's definitely a lot of cool watches right there. And also, guys, a little correction on yesterday's video where I talked about, kind of holding on for what you really want as opposed to a varied collection of less expensive watches. I think a lot of people in the comments misunderstood me. I think a lot of people also got a little bit defensive. I'm not saying you have to own a luxury or an expensive watch for it to be a valid collection. All I'm saying is if you have $2,000, instead of buying $10, $200 watches, save up a little bit. The delayed satisfaction of saving up and getting something more prestigious, something you want more, as opposed to buying a watch every 3 weeks, is a better way, in my opinion, to collect watches. I'm not sure if a lot of people misunderstood me, if I miscommunicated, or if they're just pissed off that they spent a ton of money on watches that, honestly, I can tell you as a collector, they're not always going to enjoy. I think flexibility is important. So maybe I struck a nerve there, but I felt it was kind of important for me to clarify. At the end of the day, you do what you guys want, enjoy what you want, buy what you want. But I just think it makes more sense to go with a more curated collection of slightly higher end pieces than just, buying 50 watches because you can afford all 50. That's just my opinion. Wow, we still lots of Submariners and Hulks in the wristwatch check. G123X, you communicate quite well. Some people just want to be offended and have inferiority complexes. You know what? I agree. I think the overall reception was decently well, but I was surprised at how many people would rather have 60 watches as opposed to 5 or 6 quality ones. Once again, entirely my opinion, but I can tell you as someone who's been through that, they're wrong. I mean, I'm going to get hate for that too, but I'm telling you, in a couple of years, when you look down at your box, you're going to be really upset you did that. But it's all right. We can kind of drop that subject right there. Brandon Lau, is Jacob & Co. a fad or the next RM? Brandon, I don't think Jacob & Co. is a fad because I don't think it's particularly popular. I also don't think it's the next RM. Jacob & Co. is a company that makes a ton of watches, some very high-end ones, some extremely low-end pieces of crap. And I don't think that a company can encompass that large of a spectrum and be taken seriously. I think their high-end watches are way too expensive, even more expensive than RM. To ever be, super popular, and I think their low-end watches are junk. So it's hard. I don't think it's a fad. It's not big enough to be a fad, and I also don't think it's going to skyrocket. I think they're just going to continue to exist. Let's see here. Alex Camano, do you think the new stainless steel Omega 321 Speedmaster will go down in value in the future? I do not think so. I have it under pretty good authority that they are making very few of these watches, probably less than 100 a year for the world. Is it going to skyrocket like the Daytona? I don't think so, but I think it's going to be a while before we see them under retail, if ever under retail at all. I've spoken to quite a few people that know their Omega, and they all seem to think it's a pretty bullish market on that one. Ferris Shaheen, tell producer Michael. Ferris, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like to be extremely negative, especially to other personalities, but I just don't think producer Michael is a real watch enthusiast. I think he's a rich enthusiast. I think he likes to show off and peacock, and there's nothing wrong with that. And he buys what he likes, which God knows he's entitled to that. But he's not a real watch guy, at least in my opinion. He's more aesthetically driven, which I am pretty aesthetically driven as well. I just think he likes to spend money, essentially, and I think it makes for pretty good content for a lot of people. But producer Michael, yeah, not a real watch guy, at least in my humble opinion. I doubt he watches me, but if he does and he wants to respond, info@tellrightwatch.com. But yeah, that's just my take. Let me see here. H. Moser or JLC by Christopher Wong. It's a tough one. If you're going to wear it every day, I say go JLC. H. Moser is more of a statement piece. It's more special. It'll have higher repair bills. It's probably a little bit more fragile, mainly precious metal. Let's go with the Pioneer. JLC, I mean, I love them both. I really, really do love them both. Hard to know which one to pick. I own two Mosers, but I certainly don't wear them every day. Let me see here. Hey, Fed, what do you think about buying pre-owned watches from the Japanese market? From Eric. We import from Japan all the time. Got to know what you're doing, though. Lots of watches need service. There's customs and customs brokers to deal with. Generally the prices in Japan are fantastic. It's just not particularly convenient for people in the US, especially because you can't take advantage of a warranty because international warranties are just difficult when you're going to ship back your watch to Japan for repair. The shipping cost, potential customs. I don't think it makes sense for the normal guy that wants to buy one watch, but generally importing watches from Japan is pretty favorable if you do it in bulk. Let me see here. Explorer 1 or Explorer 2 from Cowboy Swami. I'm more of an Explorer 1 guy, personally. Ken Spear, have you had any experience with Norcane watches? Ken, yes, I do. I actually have two Norcanes right here. They sent me a couple for review. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. I think they're particularly cool. Video will be coming out in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Motion. Hey, I recently purchased a new Speedmaster Moonwatch Sapphire Sandwich from an AD for $3,700, 20% below MSRP. Motion, it's a fair deal. I don't think you stole it. I don't think you overpaid. I think you did pretty well. Nickel Markham, Submariner date or no date? Well, the date is always going to be worth more than the no date, in my opinion. More people like the date. The date is more classic. However, I like the symmetry of the no date. Personally, I think the no date is pretty darn cool. Wow, we're up to 270. Guys, thank you so much. Please don't forget to hit that like button. We're at 21 likes as well. I really appreciate you guys joining me here today. Let me keep reading these comments for you guys. Astro Boy, how bad you want to smack that little TGV rat? Astro Boy, please keep it civil in the comments. I don't really talk about other YouTubers. We've had our differences. It is what it is. We move on. We're men. Oh, wow. Mr. Ronak, 85, with a tip. Thank you so much. A tip absolutely not necessary. Omega Seamaster 300 or Moonwatch. I think a Seamaster 300 is a better everyday watch. I love speedies, but, I think the lack of automatic, the manual wind mechanism, as I said, the lack of water resistance, that's light crystal. Very, very cool, but I see a Seamaster as a more practical watch. Um, Let me see here. Fed, do you think the premium on Journe Elegance is justified? It's the best quartz movement ever made. Alex, it is not justified. I don't think the Elegant is going to hold a premium. I know I'm labeled as a quartz hater, but the market is the market. Quartz don't hold water. Apart from maybe the Beta 21 from Patek, but you show me an example of a quartz watch with sustained premiums in the market, and maybe I'll change my tune. Maybe it's happened once or twice. I'm not saying it's never happened, but it's rare, and it's not really a thing. Let's see here. Sanford Bolden, what's your opinion of Laurier? Do you think they make quality? Do you think the quality will allow them to overcome the lack of available product? Sanford, I have no experience with Laurier. Seen their designs, I don't find them particularly inspired. Maybe the quality is fantastic, but I can't speak on a subject that I pretty much know nothing about. So I'm sorry, I can't help you there. Let me see here. Andy Dufresne, thoughts on the Breguet Type 20, Type 21? Type 21, that's the bigger Breguet flyback sports watch. Andy, I really like it. I think they're massively undervalued in the pre-owned market. You should be able to pick one up under $6,000. Frederic Piguet column wheel chronograph movement with a flyback mechanism. Interesting dial, real history behind it. I prefer the design of the Type 20, but the Type 20 is too small for a guy of my size. So I'd have to settle for a 21, even though, as I said, I prefer the 20. But I think it's a hell of a chronograph. I think you got a really luxurious chronograph for a fantastic amount of money. Oh, Jenny L, fellow YouTuber, thank you so much for joining us. Hey, Federico, I know you love Moser. What do you think about brands not putting their logo on the dial? Big fan here. Jenny, first of all, thank you so much. That means particularly quite a bit coming from a fellow content creator, so I appreciate that. Brands not putting a logo on the dial. I mean, listen, I own a Moser with a logo, and I own a Moser without a logo. Actually, wearing basketball shorts, but I'm wearing pants. So I have one here without a logo. I have one here with a logo. What do I think? I mean, it doesn't bother me at all. I think it's a very interesting concept. I think Ed Milan is a cool dude who likes to try new things. I think it shows a lot of brand confidence because even though this is not a Moser, that Fume dial is very recognizable as a Moser. Those case flanks, very recognizable. I think the brand has strong DNA. It's a loss. It's putting a logo on a dial is free marketing, and from a business standpoint, it makes sense. But I think being a little bit contrarian is also cool and could actually give them that free marketing as well. It's kind of hard to explain, but I think it's cool. Kind of to wrap that thought up. Colin Gonzi says, "Hit that like button." Yeah, everybody, hit that like button. Thank you so much. Let me see here. GMT Master says, gorgeous watch, Fed. Thank you so much, guys. Jay Gee, are Sterling tourbillons with Chinese tourbillons worth anything? Jay, no, they are not. Sterling is basically an American Airlines catalog brand based out of Brooklyn that sells Alibaba watches, essentially, with a Sterling logo on it. Chinese tourbillons are cool, horologically speaking. They're fun. It's cool to see a tourbillon created for such little money. But all in all, the longevity is probably not great. Very hard to service. Will cost more to service than it is to buy the watch and don't really hold any value. Kevin V sending me $5. Thank you so much, guys. Please be aware there is no need to tip. I mean, I'm not going to turn it down, but this is not the point of this live stream. He says Rolex Explorer 1114270, that's a 36 millimeter with engraved rehat, or 14270 with tritium dial. If you're gonna go pre-39 millimeter and you're gonna go with that shitty bracelet and the shitty clasp, Everybody knows I'm not a fan of the older clasps and bracelets from Rolex. I say go with the tritium dial, get the full vintage experience. The engraved rehaut is cool, and you have updated end links. That is true, but if you're gonna go vintage, go fully vintage. I think the tritium is absolutely the way to go. Let me see here. Wow, you guys are really typing here. Um, BT Halio Seaforth, yay or nay? I like the Halio Seaforth. Small micro brand, interesting design, a cool little beater watch. I don't have really strong feelings about it, but I like that aqua blue dial if you can find one. Absolutely. Juan Zeballos, what do you prefer, the Omega Seamaster 300 or the Tudor Pelagos left-hand drive? I think the Seamaster 300 is a better watch. I think the Tudor Pelagos left-hand drive um, is more interesting. It's really a toss-up for me in between those. Fada Fadudi, do you think Rolex prices going down from brand new? Rolex prices are going down, but I don't think they're going to drop below retail. I think that's a pipe dream, to be very honest with you. Um, Let me see here. Oh, guys, we've already been doing this over 20 minutes. Let me see here. Kobe, thoughts on the Cartier Crash Reedition London Boutique? Will it rise in value? Absolutely. That watch is going to skyrocket. I know it's not for everybody, but it is very hard to get, made in very limited quantities, historically extremely significant, and a lot of very important vintage watch dealers like Eric Koo push the crashes like crazy. So I do think the Cartier Crash Reedition will absolutely go up in value. Um, Let me see here. Guys, there's a lot of questions here. Thank you so much. Um, and LB, thoughts on selling your whole collection, 7 watches, to fund an FP Journe? LB, I don't dislike that idea. I say go for quality over quantity. I've actually sold a ton of my collection. I'm going to do a state of a collection soon. But I say keep one watch apart from the FP Journe as more of an everyday beater. I think sell 6 of them, but keep one as a beater. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining me in the live stream. We're going on 23 minutes just about. If you guys haven't heard, Rolex and Tudor have officially delayed their releases this year. Watches of Switzerland also just released an article on Watch Pro saying they're going to reopen their stores hopefully by the end of June. I think that's a little far down the line. I'm hoping we reopen well before that, but maybe I'm just optimistic. Guys, I really appreciate you joining me here. I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy. If you want me to do another live stream, hit that like button, maybe leave a comment below the video. I do read every single comment. And yeah, I'm very humbled by everybody joining me and kind of spending some time with me. Thank you so much. Stay safe, guys. Take care.